All right, KMR Rotary. Welcome back to the channel. It's all about the Brap. I love the Brap. We're gonna talk some rotary. This is the KMR MX5. And unfortunately, back in November, had a hard hit with the wall. So as we get ready for the race season, and I'm getting more and more excited, feeling better about everything, I got to get this car ready to go. The motor and drivetrain, pretty good. I'm going to run what I had last year. Really great setup. Actually want to continue to refine this package. Basically just boosted 20B at about 800 plus horsepower to the wheels, and about 24 to 26 PSI. So not quite working as hard as my Formula Drift car, since this is our hot pit car, but really focusing on performance and reliability. So far, working great. Motor, transmission, 5-speed sequential, and then the winter's quick change. So the chassis needs some repairs. When I crashed at Irwindale, I put it in on this right front corner, which not only hurt the car, it also hurt me. The rib cage is finally starting to feel better. But if you look right in here, not the best lighting in the shop right now, but you can actually see I pushed this shock tower in. And along with that shock tower, potentially a little bit of this frame rail and these pickup points on the subframe. And within Formula Drift rules, we're really not allowed to add a lot of bracing in this area, so that's part of where problems can happen when you crash. So we're going to get this on a frame jig. We've got a body shop local to us. It's a friend. They're going to straighten this whole right front corner out for us, at least to their best ability, and then we can kind of see where we're at with actual car damage, frame damage. Everything else is pretty good. The left side of the car obviously is a little beat up from last year, but that's fine. It's a drift car. We're going to run with that. And the left rear corner also fairly okay. Luckily, our Mishimoto radiator, radium fuel pump setup, the fans, all of our catch cans, and crash support, because I went in the front corner, and even though the back of the car did hit, which caused subframe damage, WiseFab damage, and I'm not sure about frame, but I think we're okay. Also going to get checked out on the frame jig. But although the right rear corner did hit, really everything survived okay. We drove this car back into the trailer, cooling system, fuel system, power steering, basically all of that stuff functioning okay. Main issue, alignment, subframes, and a little bit of right front corner chassis damage. But this really gives you an interesting perspective of this car. I don't know that I've ever really shown it this stripped down on the KMR YouTube channel. And I know I've mentioned it, but I always like to remind people that we bodied this as an ND MX5, but it's actually an NC MX5. Within the Formula Drift rules, and where we're allowed to cut via subframe pickup points, we actually utilized originally OEM rear quarter panels, trunk, and bumper to get all of our tail light alignment, trunk fitment correct, and then splashed molds and made a wide body rear fender that basically holds our ND tail light and creates an ND trunk line on the back of an NC Miata. I do have these molds. I don't know if anybody ever wants to create something like this, but basically the same as Mad Mike's car. He also had an NC that he rebodied as an ND. Cooling, packaging, working well. Electric water pump, Mazier tucked down in here. Radium fuel cell with all those pumps, 4 pumps in there. Very compact driver's compartment, which I think led to me having a little bit more pain, so I might do some design work in there to clear up a little elbow room. But overall, very fun car. And same thing with the nose. We used the ND headlights, and within the rules where we're allowed to cut, that allowed us to use OEM ND fenders, headlights, and then aftermarket front bumper, and we made our own over fenders for the front. And that was kind of a 3-year evolution of this car in the bodywork, but always trying to keep it looking like a ND in a similar fashion to what people do in drifting with S chassis Nissans, where they'll take a S13 and give it an S14 or S15 front facelift. Skylines, similarly, people will give them a facelift. And it's kind of cool. So we did that with the Miata. It also allowed us to run all of the RX-8 suspension components, because if you didn't know, the NC Miata shares subframe pickup points with an RX-8. So essentially, you can bolt on all of your RX-8 drift components to an NC Miata. So a lot of very interesting things about this car, why it worked. It's basically a mini RX-8, so we always enjoyed running this car in conjunction with the big actual RX-8 because they were so dynamically different, but all of the parts basically shared between the cars were very similar, if not absolutely the same. So hopefully the next time we see this car, it'll be on a frame jig, and then all the bodywork's going back on, and we're getting ready for hot pit, along with some safety updates and some performance updates. But I think that's a wrap. Just wanted to give it the walk around because, hey, we got a skeleton of a car hanging out here, Formula Drift, hot pit, MX5, and I don't always strip it down like this. It takes a major crash or a major situation to get down to the skin like this, get the skin off. Even though it only takes about 5 minutes to take all the bodywork off, it's just something we very rarely do. So, comment below, smash the like button, subscribe. It helps out so much. And thank you everybody who's been visiting the website, checking out the eBay store. This is good stuff. We're launching a new website soon. This is going to be a fantastic year. And I hope that I can just bring more and more rotary content to the web. That's a brap. Got to get back to work. Go build the braps, hang out with the braps, make brap noises. It's all about the brap. Thanks for watching.